In the headlines to the CBC NewsNight, government spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on summer camps for children. CXC complains about several challenges, including cheating children as it releases exam results. An association for PSV owners calls out some of their bad drivers.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening. With the details to the CBC NewsNight, I'm Wendy Burke. Almost $500,000 is being spent on government summer camps catering to thousands of children. Today, Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith and a team from his ministry visited several of the camps and interacted with campers and volunteer assistants. Anesta Henry has more on that story.
Government is spending close to $500,000 on this year's 5-week summer camp program. That's according to Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith, who says there are just under 3,000 registered campers at 47 locations. He was speaking to the media at the Shirley Chisholm School, one of several areas where sessions are being held under the guidance of volunteer camp assistants. Mr. Griffith has made it clear the camps are not designed to babysit children, but to deliver skills to the nation's youth.
This program is an annual program, and one of the things we hope to do is to do more than craft. This morning you would have seen a lot of craft at Shirley Chisholm, but we have embarked on a number of programs that will benefit the youngsters. We've embedded some life skills in some of the camps, so it is not just a play and fun situation as that would usually happen in the past.
Mr. Griffith has thanked the staff at the ministry for going above and beyond the call of duty to make the program where campers are given free meals a success. He explains the specialized camps add a special touch to the overall program this year.
For example, one of our specialized camps deals specifically with the digital media, where we, even at the young age, because our target population is 4 to 15, a lot of those youngsters are involved in the skill sets in terms of learning how to use the cameras, learning how to edit as well. In addition to that, the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme is also putting on a camp where we carry all of the youngsters through the rudiments of what is required to be an entrepreneur. And that is being housed at Parkinson Secondary.
On Thursday, a sports day will be held at the Usain Bolt complex. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The wait is over for the thousands of Barbadians and regional students who wrote the May to June 2024 exams of the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC. Students were able to access the results online through CXC's student portal from 3 this afternoon. An official release of the preliminary results ceremony was held in Dominica with CXC and education officials. Director of Operations, Dr. Nicole Manning, in assessing the examinations, says they were impacted by weather systems and bomb threats, which impacted Jamaica, the British Virgin Islands, and Dutch St. Martin. She adds that the challenges were overcome. Dr. Manning also says while more candidates took CXC exams, less subjects were written. She shared CXC's concerns regarding the use of cell phones and cheating, along with attempts by some candidates to have their exams taken by other people.
That they're trying to pass off as another candidate. That's not good, but it happened, right? So, of course, the situation was identified and the candidate is not only disqualified, but debarred for 2 years. So it's a very serious matter, okay? Things like cell phones, we saw a lot of cheating this year. If you notice on screen, you're seeing a number, 54. Last year it would have been what? 36. That's a big increase. And candidates have to sign to agree, yes, this is what happened. So we're not just making it up. The supervisors and vigilators are not making it up.
Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Wayne Wesley wants ways found to assist students in excelling more in mathematics and English.
Let's ensure that students leaving the school system, if they don't have anything else, let's ensure that they are numerate and literate. To that end, the Caribbean Examinations Council has already commissioned a team to begin to develop standards for literacy and numeracy. And those standards will be used with the incorporation of artificial intelligence for us to be able to design targeted intervention for the areas and opportunities for development for these candidates. And how is it that they are going to acquire the skill? This particular program will be complementary with what is happening in the education system.
An increasing number of Barbadian women are being diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer. Word of this is coming from medical coordinator for the Barbados Cancer Society, Dr. Shirley Jagru, who says patients with positive diagnosis ranging from stage 0 to 2 have a 98 to 100% 5-year survival. Dr. Jagru was addressing the launch of the CIBC Walk for the Cure 2024.
Briefly, our monthly stats at the clinic are as follows. Average of 700 mammograms and 130 ultrasounds are done every month. The positive cases, as stated before, continue to increase yearly. In 2019, we had 65. In 22, we had 135. And then last year, we had 147. Now, these include cases that are being referred from QE for biopsies or for mammograms and ultrasounds.
This year's walk will take place on Sunday, October 6, starting outside CIBC's corporate head office, Warren St. Michael. There will be the 5K run, which starts at 3:50 p.m., and the 5K walk commences 10 minutes later at 4 p.m. T-shirts may be purchased from the Breast Cancer Society, Henry's Lane, Lower Collimarock, or at one of the CIBC Caribbean pop-ups. Managing Director, Barbados Operating Company, CIBC Caribbean, Donna Wellington, says since beginning in 2012, Walk for the Cure has raised over US $4 million across the bank's regional footprint.
Here, our efforts resulted in a total of 200,000 Barbados dollars raised, and all of which was presented to the breast screening program of the Barbados Cancer Society. And we are optimistic that we will reach and surpass this target this year again. The walk best exemplifies the culture of care which we are fostering at our bank.
Dame Gracia Machel, the widow of former President of South Africa Nelson Mandela, is to visit Barbados this week. The visit of the African stateswoman, educator and humanitarian coincides with the season of emancipation. She is expected to participate in a number of related activities. Dame Gracia will also meet with Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley and other government officials during her 6-day visit. Coming up, the owners of PSV speaks about the bad behavior of some drivers. The Alliance Owners of Public Transport, AOP, is not happy with operators who impede the flow of traffic at the junction of John Beckles Drive and River Road in the city. Director of Public Communications and Public Affairs Mark Haynes called out the act, reminding them that the route is used by ambulances on a daily basis. He says such reckless acts can impact on patients en route to the QEH.
It is unfair, unkind, and inconsiderate of you to inhibit or impede their journey to the acute care institution. Such injured or sick can be your own relatives in need of urgent medical attention. Your insensitive or reckless act can largely contribute to the demise of patients en route to the hospital, as ambulances and other vehicles have to traverse the area. Please be courteous and kind and let common sense prevail. So those of you who are guilty of committing any such infractions are kindly asked to desist from any bad practices.
Operators have been reminded the safety of commuters is paramount. Mr. Haynes wants operators to drive their vehicles with due care at all times. He says the playing of lewd music, blocking of roads, and the use of profanity are offensive and highly reprehensible. Mr. Haynes further urged owners of PSVs to take more responsibility of their investments.
This call from the Alliance Owners of Public Transport may very well redound to your own benefit ultimately. It is imperative that you do spot checks on various routes to ensure the viability of your business, notwithstanding that some vehicles have GPS systems or other monitoring devices attached. Try to be your own police to avert fines being paid to the Crown because of infractions of some guilty operators. The Alliance Owners of Public Transport does not condone or will not be party to any form of recklessness or infractions of the traffic laws. In fact, we promote and encourage all operators to be in conformity with all the traffic laws.
Minister of Labour, Social Security and the Third Sector, Colin Jordan, is refuting statements by former Prime Minister Fundell Stewart suggesting that government plans to amend the Employment Rights Act because it favours workers. Mr. Stewart made the comment at a political meeting last weekend. In response, Minister Jordan wants Mr. Stewart to indicate where and when the information was conveyed that government wants to amend the act.
I challenge him to indicate where it was reported or the speech in which it was that information was conveyed. And I challenge him because this Minister of Labour and this Barbados Labour Party in government has always been strong with respect to protecting the rights of workers. We have not shied away from it. We will not shy away from it. We understand that we have to take a global perspective. So we manage an entire country. But we manage an entire country where our policies will be people-centered and where we will be intentional in creating a society where decent work is at the core of national development.
17-year-old Ja'Cory Wilkinson of Princess Royal Avenue, Pineland, St. Michael, who was shot sometime between 9:15 p.m. and 9:30 on Tuesday, August 13th, has died. He had been at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in critical condition. According to police reports, on Tuesday, August 13th, lawmen from the District A police station went to Meadow Road, Wildy Road, St. Michael in response to an initial report of a man being shot at that location. On arrival, police learned that Wilkinson was transported to the QEH by private motorcar. Anyone who has information about the circumstances of this incident are asked to contact the District A police station at 430-7242 or 430-7246 pertaining to the identity of this man or the circumstances surrounding his death. Police are also conducting investigations into the circumstances surrounding the unnatural death of 47-year-old Xavier Blanche, whose unresponsive body was discovered about 5:44 a.m. today. His body was found at the beach just off the Radisson Aquatica Hotel, Bay Street, St. Michael. According to reports, police were informed on arrival that an unknown male pulled the body of the Padmore Village St. Philip resident from the beach. He was pronounced dead by a medical doctor. Anyone who can provide any information that can assist with these investigations is asked to call the Hastings Worthing Police Station at 430-7612, Police Emergency 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, or the nearest police station. Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, David Commichon, says Caribbean countries will be united and will be adopting one Caribbean position at the upcoming United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29. That meeting will be held in Azerbaijan from November 11th to the 22nd. Ambassador Commichon was a guest on the Conversations on CARICOM segment of CBC TV8's Morning Barbados.
We are going to be speaking very, very firmly on the fact that our small island developing nations are on the front line of this climate crisis, and that it is ridiculous that we can get this kind of damage, but there are no loss and damage funds to call upon to help us rebuild. So there was a sense of, I would say, anger at the meeting, and a resolve that this nonsense of having these COPs and, you know, going through the motions, that really has to end. And we will also be setting up a donors conference.
Sports time now with Anne-Marie Burke. What do you have in store for us, Anne-Marie?
Well, good evening to you, Wendy. I have lots of good news for our national teams across various sports. And I start with football as Barbados finished unbeaten in the group stage of the Caribbean Football Union Under-14 Boys Challenge Series in Trinidad. Playing in their final Tier 2 Group A match today, the Barbadian boys defeated Antigua and Barbuda 2-0. Sasha Pounder scored the first goal in the 59th minute, followed by Malik Peters with the second goal in the 67th. Now, Barbados topped the group with 12 points after winning all 4 games. The semi-finals are set for Friday. Now, Barbados have 2 finalists at the Senior Casa Squash Championships in Georgetown, Guyana. In the men's open category, top seed and defending champion Kamal Kamabach comfortably defeated Alex Arjun of Guyana in his semi-final in straight games 11-8, 11-8 and 11-6 to reach his 3rd successive men's final. Kamabach will face Julian Jervis in this evening's final. In the ladies' open semi-final, the top seed and defending champion Margot Prow easily defeated fellow Barbadian Amanda Haywood 11-8, 11-3, 11-3 in that first semi-final. Prow will now take on Guyanese Mary Fungafat in the ladies' final. I take a break, and when I return, there's some reviews for the pitches in the region. Now, the International Cricket Council has given failing grades to 3 pitches used in the recent ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024. In total, the ICC assessed 18 of the pitches as very good, while 31 pitches were satisfactory. But there is concern for 2 that were done in New York and 1 in Taruba in Trinidad. Wendy, that's my first look at sports. So when I return, I have a lot more good news from our national team. So back over to you.
Well, we look forward to hear what Barbados has been doing. Up next on CBC's Newsnight, the Business Report. In tonight's business, from humble beginnings to a successful operation serving consistently great tasting food. It is Delicious Treats, the brainchild of owner and Chief Executive Officer Shauna Rollins. On tonight's Yes Business Report, she traces the origins of the new enterprise located in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Trevor Thorpe reports.
One of the first graduates of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, Shauna Rollins tells the Yes Business Report, Delicious Treats is a kiosk or trailer concept and not permanently tied to one location. Ms. Rollins says it's a flexible model with a commitment to quality by serving consistently great tasting healthy food.
Delicious Treats is a business that we offer a wide variety of fresh sandwiches, pastries, desserts, soups and salads. We are located in the QEH hospital at the present moment. But you can come and you can get your desserts, all low in sugars, low in salts, healthy, but very delicious.
Ms. Rollins says there's also a catering service and recalls how her operation started.
Delicious Treats began with 3 flying fish cutters. Imagine that, humble beginnings. When I did the Yes program and reflecting over 10 years ago, we did the basics. You learn about accounting, you learn about marketing, you learn about, being confident and able to speak and market your business. So those foundational skills were very, very important for me at that point in time. And as I reflect 10 years plus now, I think of the relationships that have been formed with my facilitators who taught different programs. One of them did my business plan for me to open my location at the hospital. I still work with my marketing consultant who I met through the Yes program, and he's so proud of me. We still work together. This is how many years after. So in reflection, I'm glad that I was able to not only do the program and have those foundational skills, but to foster relationships as the business grows and evolves, that those facilitators are still here with me on my journey.
The entrepreneur says she has received encouragement from Export Barbados and has been testing the overseas market.
I also was able to pitch my concept to Export Barbados, and the team was really impressed. They said, "You've done all this, on your own," and I said yes, and they're committed to giving me grant funding. So look at the flow from one organization as you start off, but then as you begin to develop, then you are transferred on to the other organizations like Export Barbados, and I must say it was really wonderful. They sponsored me to attend a franchise show in Miami where they sent a team with me, and it was an eye-opener. My life has changed forever because of that event, because we had persons from not just live in Miami, but people who are from the entire Caribbean that reside in Miami now, and they was like, you need to open up locations here. So for me, that was amazing, that a little girl who came from Barbados just started off, remember, with 3 flying fish cutters, and now what I offer, somebody else wants it some other part of the world. So for me, that is make me shed some tears sometimes.
Mr. Rollins adds, however, she's excited about the opportunities created in an ever-changing business environment.
The lowering of interest rates in the U.S. could prove rewarding for Fortress Fund managers' Barbados dollar funds. The outlook was revealed to investors in the June quarterly report for the Fortress Caribbean Growth Fund, the Fortress Caribbean High Interest Fund, and the Caribbean Pension Fund. The introduction of the quarterly report indicates that during the second quarter, the first cuts in rates were recorded, signaling the beginning of what is expected to be an easing cycle, leading to lower interest rates around the world. News of the rate cuts was welcomed as the second quarter was relatively quiet and there was little change in Fortress funds, while the Caribbean High Interest Fund had a modestly positive return and the Caribbean Growth Fund declined marginally. Well, that's it for tonight's business news. And we say welcome back to Anne-Marie for round 2.
Yes, Wendy, and I start with some more good news. Barbados has placed 3rd at the 28th Goodwill Swimming Championships, which were held in St. Lucia. The swimmers, who were greeted with a warm welcome at the Granny Adams International Airport this morning upon their return, racked up a total of 892 points, putting them in 3rd position behind Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago, respectively. The girls tallied 506.5 points, while the boys were 4th with 373.5. The leading girl was Kalia Springer with 55 points in the 13 to 14 division. She won the 100 and 200 meter freestyle, as well as the 50 meter and 100 meter butterfly and the 200 meter individual medley. The leading boy was Zachary Ladipo, who shared the 9 to 10 title with Trinidad and Tobago's Michael Alexander, both getting 48 points. Ladipo took gold medals in the 100 meter free, in addition to the 50 meter and 100 meter backstroke. Now, head coach Antonio Martinez is extremely proud of the team as they went in with the mindset to improve from the previous years, and that they did.
It's a difficult meet, it's a long sessions, and, but how I promise and we promise, the team is going to do better than the previous years. And we came back with the 3rd place, 58 medals, and only 7 points behind the 2nd place. So for us, a tremendous achievement.
He said the team will continue to work hard as they prepare for upcoming meets.
Well, we had December short course and get ready also for Carista 2025.
The National Bodybuilding and Fitness Championships took center stage recently at the Wildy Gymnasium, where the best of the island's bodies were on show. Tonight, we begin our review with the women's competitions. There were some categories that had only one competitor, but despite this, the women really showcased that they were in top form. Aaliyah Ellis in the women's fit model showed poise and grace as she was judged for her skin tone, her hair and facial beauty, and her ability to present herself with confidence, along with her toned definition. All boxes she ticked off. Also having the stage to herself was Danielle Holder in the Women's Body Fitness Open category. What she achieved was that round and firm appearance with a small amount of body fat that the judges are looking for. Holder was outright class in this category, and despite not having any competition, was certainly holding her own. Also strutting her stuff solo in her category was Leanna Carter. She flexed her muscles and the crowd was loving it. This is where you showcase the tightness and tone of the body, and boy was she truly doing so. Even in the side profile, you can see that she put in the work. That's why, although all alone, she is deserving of the national title in the women's physique. The Women's Wellness Masters category was a head-to-head showdown between Vicky Ann Hope on the left and Janelle Butcher. It's about being athletic and aesthetically pleasing. That they delivered. But in the eyes of the judges and the crowd's delight, it was Hope who really came with the goods and was so declared Masters Wellness Champion. Now, Hope returned in the wellness category short class, and this time posed off against Lovett Shepherd to the left and Rashida Gill in the middle. As the ladies backed the crowd to show off the glutes, this is where you could start to pick out your winner. And when all was assessed, it was Gill, no stranger to the top spot, that again walked away as the champion in the wellness category. The bikini fitness ladies always brings that spark of excitement to the crowd. And we start with the over 169 centimeter class. Shanice Mason, Joyanne Holford, and Teresa Bushell from left to right. All three women are no strangers to the national stage as repeat competitors from last year. And what I can say is that I have seen vast improvement, and the definition shows it. So who will be your champion this year? It will be Level Up Health and Fitness to celebrate, as walking away with that classic bikini fitness title was Mason. She was a cut above the rest. And let's finish things up with the shorter ladies in the bikini fitness competition. Three lined up from left to right: Michelle Bryan, Trudy Ann Bavell, and Sherilyn Burke. The pose-off always allows the judges to truly size up the competition, and we're looking for those defined back muscles and the tight glutes. All three ladies in tip-top shape. But the one who caught the judges' eyes and was given the crown representing Twin Gym was Sherilyn Burke, from toe to head. Sheer class. All in all, the women really showed up and showed out for the fitness categories at the national championships. And Wendy, that's it for sports.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Thanks for viewing. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.